Welcome everyone to a Pauper League. We're testing out Boros tokens with Rally the Peasants. We're on the play, we're going to play first. And as far as I can tell, I think we have to mulligan this hand. There's 3 spells in it which we are not able to cast. And with no manipulation, we're not really guaranteed to hit a white source. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan. And this hand we will keep. We got one of each color. And we have a Lumathread Field on the top, which I think I'm going to bottom because we want to find lands and use our mana as much as we can. Also, most opponents aren't playing sweepers for 1, and what I mean by that is electrickery and stuff like that. So we're facing off against Burn, which I don't think we're going to have the capability to race. Rally the Peasants certainly helps. I think I have to let this War Marshal die so that we can hopefully do some more with our mana. We do have some burn in here to help us out as well. There's a curse. So at the very least we're not getting hit with Searing Blaze. So yeah, I think we have to leave our mana open here. We're not going to pay. We don't currently have a lot to do with our mana. And here we're certainly not casting Rally, but I think we're probably going to bolt our opponent on his end step. This is going to be a very quick match. So he's got just 3 mana, huh? Stagger Shock straight to the dome. Okay, so we're going to burn him. I think if we don't find anything, we may just Rally. We're going to have to do a little bit of math. Not my favorite. Okay, so I can Rally this turn for 6, and next turn for an additional 6. Or I can play Doom Traveler, attack for 2 next, and bolt him, so he'll be at 11, and then I can attack for 9. So there's not a huge difference here. The not playing the Rally not only gives us a better board presence, but it masks the fact that he's going to be potentially losing the race. If we show him Rally, he knows roughly about how much time he has left. Where if he sees just the Doom Traveler, he may make some other play. I know it's not that likely, and I don't actually think we have a great chance of racing here. But if we bolt him down to 11, we get in an attack for 9. It's not incredible. But, for instance, he might point this at a guy. He might point this at us. He's probably pointing it at us. I think either way he's intending to race by pointing it at us. So this is more going to be a function of, does he have enough burn in hand to kill? So we're going to bolt him again. Prismatic Strands would also be pretty good. We're going to 8. Then we're going to 6. He should likely leave up the Stagger Shock just to... So should I play Battle Screech or should I Rally him? If I play Rally, he knows he has to go for it. He's probably going for it anyway. So I can attack for 3, he goes to 8, play Battle Screech. I can attack for 2 and Battle Screech twice, or I can attack for 3 and Battle Screech once. Yeah... Maybe we'll just make the guys, and is there some reason getting him to 2 does anything? I don't think so. It could force him to throw a burn spell at my guy. But other than that, I don't think we actually want to show him Rally. We're either certainly winning or certainly losing, whether we play Rally or not, so... this turn. So I don't think it matters in that sense. Now, as we can see, the deck has been running pretty smoothly. It's looking like a turn 6 kill, but that's going to be a turn or two too slow for the burn deck, because we're going to 6 and all he needs is basically anything out of the 4 cards in his hand, so we can just say GG. I think. Oh, maybe not. So that drops us to 5. If he has Fire Blast, we lose. Yeah, he's just gonna Fire Blast me. Alright, well in this case we just go for it. It's possible we're gonna win here. I think he's just gonna Fire Blast me, but what are you gonna do? I think he's just messing around. I think he's got the Fire Blast, so. Nope, we actually win the game. Okay, so I don't think hardly any of our decisions mattered. Using the bolts was important, but we were either certainly winning or certainly losing just based on math, on racing. And that's how it is a lot of the time against burn decks. So, a few things to consider. I think there's a moderate chance that he's playing Electrickery, so I think we maybe just leave these in. I think we leave these in because they're very strong racing tools, which means, and this is kind of a racing tool, it's an anti-Electrickery tool. We want to take out our slowest cards. Battle Screech is a great card for this deck, but it's actually the slowest card here. So there's a chance we might be cutting all of these. Our best card in the matchup that we have available to us is Prismatic Strands. So we're going to play those. And that's really about it. This can maybe kill a curse, but I think we just got to try and race that. I don't think we run the third rally. Maybe we do. It piles on some damage and it protects us against Electrickery. And 1 Screech. That might be diluting the deck of token producers too much. So I'm going to play 2 Screech. And yeah, I'm just going to do it like this. The fact that we were up a game really helps us in terms of tempo for game 3. We're going to be on the play. So let's see what we can do here. Another mulligan. I don't think this is a function of the deck's construction because I believe we're playing 21 or 22 lands. So let's go ahead and mulligan. He mulligans as well. Burn tends to mulligan a bit. Yeah, we can keep this for sure. So we have double 1-drop, and then we have Mog War Marshal as well. So we're going Doom Traveler, Inspector, tapped land, War Marshal. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We'll just see if it's fast enough. We also have to worry about Searing Blaze and stuff like that. So I'm going to play the Traveler first. And it's much better for us to play our 1-drop threats than it is to play a tapped land to fix our colors early. We have to race as fast as possible. As you can see, the clock is ticking. So even here, we're probably going to play the War Marshal out. Yeah, it's more damage. However, we're not going to pay the echo cost. And we also have to consider Electrickery. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to think here. It actually doesn't change our clock for our turn 3 attack. But what about our turn 4 attack? It won't matter because we'll play the War Marshal. And I think we'd have the same number of bodies if we play the War Marshal and the Thraben Inspector. So I think we'll play the Inspector. I'm not 100% on that. Turn 3 for both, we'd attack for 2. And then we'd add an extra power to the board. I'm factoring in turn 4 not paying the echo cost, so we'd still only be attacking for an additional 1 at that point. So I think we do this and at least gain a life. Now, one way this is worse, actually, yeah, I think it's debatable, but I'm not going to go too in depth with this. Alright, there's a Battle Screech. So we just attack and play War Marshal, and we hope there's no Electrickery in our future. Then we can do some math after that on whether we want to Battle Screech or rally. Oops. Yeah, pretty straightforward plays. To a point, you don't want to just go on autopilot. You want to be factoring in potential combat math and what your opponent could have all the time. Okay, so here, no matter what, we're not paying the echo cost because we need to make a play. Now, this open mana really screams Electrickery potentially if that's in his deck. That might not even be something he wants to use. So Battle Screech really opens us up, whereas we have the option of attacking for 3 or attacking for 6, burning his guy or burning his face. If we attack for 6, he can respond with Rally or with Electrickery. He still gets hit for 3. We still have a token. I'm sorry, 9, not 6. So he's either taking 3 or 9. If he takes 9, he goes to 8, burn him to 5, and we can flash it back. So I think we're going to do that. It's less vulnerable to an Electrickery, and if he doesn't have Electrickery, it prompts him to use burn spells on our guys, I think, possibly. And we get even more mana efficiency by getting to use the Bolt also. So we'll just fire off the Rally, see what he does. Yeah, he's got Electrickery. Okay, so he's only taking 3. Still get to burn him. We're going to end up playing Battle Screech next turn, I would imagine. We can't necessarily play around another Rally. Yeah, let's just use our mana. So here, burning my own guy does not spare me the 3 damage, so we're not going to do it. That was kind of painful. So we'll drop him down to 11. And it's probably just best to play Battle Screech. That puts him dead to the Rally. So we'll do that. If his last card's Electrickery, no harm, no foul. He's only got 2 cards here, so he can't do 9. So I think we have him. Unless, you know, he's got the... nope, he doesn't have it. So swiftly 2-0 the burn deck with our tokens deck, which... bit surprising. I was expecting it to be a closer match overall. Game 1 was extremely close. This game, not as close. Now, him playing Electrickery, you have to factor this into what his deck wants to do. Is it worth it for him to bring in a card that doesn't supplement his game plan of just reducing our life total? He also drew 5 lands. That's a lot of lands for a burn deck. His hand was, pretty moderate. Our hand, I would say, pretty moderate. What I mean by moderate, not in terms of quality, but just in terms of how often you would draw into a hand like this. Now, this is one of our ideal starts in terms of we had stuff to do every turn, basically, and Rally is quite a force multiplier. So anyway, let's keep trucking. We'll see you guys for round 2. Round 2 is beginning here. We've won another die roll. Certainly we'll play first. And, wow, 3rd mulligan in a row, 3rd game in a row. Had to mulligan all the time. This is the opposite of the problem we were having before. This is just a variance thing. Again, I really don't believe this to be an issue with the deck. We will keep. And we have a field on top, which we're going to bottom. And the real thing I'm wondering about is, do I want to lead on Doom Traveler or just set up my next few plays? I'm actually going to lead on Doom Traveler. If we draw a Plains or a Mountain for our next draw, or a 1-drop, then this is certainly a suitable line. Now, some of you may disagree, but I think this is actually the preferred. This is going to be quite a test if this is mono black. But the Lumithread field will help us if he has witches, and so on and so forth. We've got some padding for Edict. If he has Crypt Rat's main deck, there's really nothing we can do. That's one of the best cards in the format against our deck. So do we go with Hawk or War Marshal? Probably just go with War Marshal. And it's just additional padding against Edict. After board, I imagine his matchup gets really good against us. We don't have really anything from our board except maybe some removal spells. No, we have some more token producers like Sen's Enlistment. So he has a Phyrexian Rager. We're definitely not paying the Echo cost. We have a Raise the Alarm on deck. So we could play Field and just suicide into this. We could play Field and just pass. If he has Crypt Rats for 1. Crypt Rats for 1 doesn't murder us. We can leave up Raise the Alarm. I think the plays are either Hawk or Raise the Alarm. We could also draw a card to try and find a land. I don't think we have attacks here. Yeah, this is really rough, but the idea, I guess, is to just go completely wide and hopefully hit a rally and a land within time. But this is going to be pretty rough for us. Oubliette resolves. Probably getting that Doomed Traveler. Yeah. No surprise there. I don't imagine he will attack. But we will do something rather alarming here. Now, I still don't think I want to suicide. If I suicide, he goes to 10. We lose 1 token. I guess it's probably okay. Gray Merchant kind of screws us. We can play double Doom Traveler here. Do I want to suicide? Yeah, I think we need to start getting some work done. The longer this game goes, the worse off we're going to be. It probably blocks the Inspector. I think Crypt Rats pretty much murks us no matter what we do. So, I'm going to go ahead and just keep things moving. He just figured a soldier token. That happened kind of fast, so I wasn't exactly sure what happened, but that looks like what it was. Okay, he gains 5. Alright, he's at 15. So now we have our land. We have something to kind of strive for here, which is basically hitting a rally. If we attack here, we suicide both of our Doom Travelers, but we get flyers if he blocks them. And we're basically trading 2 guys for 3 damage, which I'm not very excited about. So I think I'm just going to Squadron Hawk and continue to build up our troops here. And we're probably never sacking this Cluestone because we have so much stuff to do over the next few turns that that's just not going to happen. I mean, we could attack with the Travelers just to get some flyers, but I want at least a little bit of insurance against what he's doing. If he has another Gary, we're in trouble. Okay, Witches is a problem, but we've got the field, so we'll just play that. I'll actually just play it now and then try and get in the air. So we came prepared. We're not new to this at all. We know there's pingers in the format. Yeah, again, suiciding 2 guys for 3 more damage, I'm not too interested in. We're going to try and win this game off of Hawks. I mean, more Garys is just really going to crush us. So, yeah, this seems like one of the weaker matchups. He's going to Tendrils it. Yep, can't do anything about that. So that's going to buy him a ton of time too. However, if we can get a rally going, that will definitely change things. So now the Witch can systematically kind of ping us down. Alright, another Oubliette. Gary at any point in time is going to be pretty bad for us. So I'm willing to trade for actually any of his attackers. He's attacking with Gary, so a spot removal spell blows out that attack, or that block. So I guess we won't block. Okay, so not a ton of options for us. Again, the 2 damage is pretty marginal here, so we're just going to build up the Air Force And again, hope that we can get Rally. Rally would actually, if we get a 6th mana, Rally's going to do a lot of damage to him. We're a bit on borrowed time here. He just stopped us cold with the Phyrexian Rager, so that's something to look at. Our deck is clearly got some issues in terms of creature size, so he's pinging me. So I'll just ping him back. Can't do any strategic pinging here. So now I don't think he has any attacks, but he does have a 2nd Witch, so he can start mowing down our troops. Okay, so I'm just gonna block with everything. Could he have Echoing? Even Echoing doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna gang block. I mean, I don't see a huge problem with this. He can't bounce the field. Spot removal doesn't really murk this. Echoing Decay only does so much. I mean, maybe he has Unearth. My plan is to kill him in the air. It's not the best plan ever made. So here we can cycle. We found a Raise the Alarm. Is that better than just playing the Squadron Hawk? Really not sure. I think it is. So we find Rally. We got more bodies to go around. Ooh, Tendrils again. Okay, so we're still going to leave up the Raise the Alarm. He's beginning to be able to ping down multiple guys. It's a bit of a problem for us. So he knows we had Hawk. We have some great draws still. We have Battle Screech and we have Rally the Peasants. So this game is not a foregone conclusion. Alright, let's go ahead and Raise the Alarm. We're at 15. There's a Battle Screech. He's going to shoot down my Squadron Hawk. So if I attack him with everything and he blocks with witches, I can kill one of the witches. It's a free kill for the Grey Merchant. I can't attack with everything because I want the Battle Screech to have a flashback. So I'd have to attack with 6 guys. He has 3 blockers and he'll shoot this, lose a witch, and we lose potentially 2 tokens if he double blocks. Still think I'm going to do it. So he probably double blocks. Yeah, let's just do this. I'll review it later and see if it's a poor attack, but he can't put a witch as a blocker because if he uses both of the witches to ping, then the witch takes damage as the blocker and then it takes 2 damage from our ping. So as you can see, this is what's going on. So we'll pass priority. Okay, he's not going to do anything yet, but now he's going to kill the Squadron Hawk. Or not, just take some damage. Okay, so now we do this. Alright, we have a shot here. We need him not to draw another Gary. And we also need... What else do we need? We need Rally the Peasants right away. And we need no sweepers of any kind. Victim of Night resolves. Does virtually nothing. So does he want to lose a Kumbai Witch? Nope. Alright, cool. So we kind of got him in a weird spot. Chittering Rats puts Squadron Hawk on the top, which we don't like. That's unfortunate. So I think we can once again march in with everything. The only problem is he has a... We can kill his Chittering Rats. That's kind of good. It's probably better than making him take 2. I think we do it like this. I could also send in Doom Travelers. And then if he wants to block, we get Flyers. Yeah, I think that's our best bet at this point. I don't really see a reason to additionally attack with the goblin tokens. Is there a reason? Because he has 4 ground blockers. So what would that do? It would kill the Kumbaya witches. Alright, call me crazy, but I'm attacking with everything. I am attacking with everything. He knows our last card's Squadron Hawk. Okay. 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 I will pass priority. Yep. We get a flyer. We make another flyer. And we don't search. And he's not using witches anymore. So now he's thinking about stuff, which might be a good sign for us. Attacking with chittering rats. Okay. 13. Alright, so we have to assume it's a spot removal spell. Should I just play the field right here? I could also cast it as a morph. That seems a little silly. So if I play field immediately, he just pings a flyer. I kill his chittering rats. We're at 13. He can attack me back for, and he can ping me. This could do 4 to me, and then he could attack me for about 4, maybe only 2. I don't see any reason to play this as a morph. So I'm just gonna cast it and make him make a move. So what's he pinging? He's pinging a spirit token. So I think I'm gonna kill his chittering rats. Now we know that Grey Merchant just absolutely murders us, so it kind of doesn't matter. And we know his life total is very high to the point that also doesn't matter. Okay. And there's no point in attacking with the Traveler now. Yep, so we'll trade off our rats for our flyer. And we will attack in the air for 5. Alright. Are we going to draw Rally, or is he going to draw Gary? That's really what it comes down to. This does not seem like a great matchup, does it? So I'll block the witch so that it doesn't ping. I guess he technically could ping me and I get a flyer. I'll leave that up to him, because then I put him to 8. Rally. Oh, we got it. Alright. Going for it. He could have 2 removal spells. I guess he would still be dead, though. I think we got there, guys. Bunch of 3/3s. Look at that. That's vicious. That was lucky. I'm not going to take any credit for that game. That was lucky as hell. So, his deck is pretty tough for us. I don't think we want Strands. Strands is a one-time use. Not very good against Crypt Rats, because it actually saves the Crypt Rats from its own damage, which means he can just Crypt Rats next turn, and so on and so forth. So that seems pretty weak. Definitely want these. We'd like some ways to kill witches, because witches is just going to provide a huge problem for us. This I actually don't think, as a temporary solution, it's just going to be real bad against things like Crypt Rats, Pestilence, which it'll be okay against Shrivel / Nausea if he's playing that, but otherwise it just seems kind of weak to me. So I don't think we're running those. And I think we want to run some more of this stuff, because he's going to be removing a lot of our creatures. And we need evasion, so I think we run both of these. and that gives us room for one more removal spell. And I think Journey's better than Slash because it hits Gurmag Angler and it gets around Unearth. We want this. This is not that exciting, but drawing cards off of it is fine. We want all of this 2-for-1 stuff, and we want all the rallies we can get because he gains life, and we need to kill him before he really stabilizes. So I think this is the boarding. Playing 21 lands, not 22, as I may have mentioned earlier. And we're good to go here. Alright, we're up a game. Now, this hand is too flooded with lands. Again, another mulligan. Pretty weird. This hand is very lackluster. I think we'll still keep it, though. Better than going to 5. We don't have the 4th land for Screech. We also don't have a way to flash it back. So I'm going to bottom and try and get a cheaper token producer, which our deck is full of. Okay, there's a Squadron Hawk. I like that. Alright, this hand's okay now. Make him deal with some Hawks. So I don't want to just play a Hawk. We can either play the field or we can bolt his Witch. I kind of like playing the field because it doesn't get duressed. And then we can do whatever we want after that. Just killing his guy, I mean, I don't think it's necessary. Let's just play the field. And then next turn we can bolt Traveler Guildgate. We can... Alright, he's just not doing anything. We can just play Squadron Hawk. I think I'll bolt Traveler Guildgate, which just does more with my mana. It also keeps him from getting 2 witches, and then if he's playing edicts, if he still kept some edicts, this just helps us with that. So I think there's enough reasons to make this play. Bolt, Traveler. Now it gets blocked on the ground, but oh well. Okay. So I guess because of this Convoke, we can't just F8. We have to willingly pass the turn. Okay, he's kind of not doing anything. So Triplicate Spirits is a little ways away, but we do get Squadron Hawk with Bolt backup. So we'll do that. Now, one thing about these kind of matches is, as a general observation, doesn't always happen, but if they can make it through all your Hawks, you usually lose. This might be a little different because we have other token generators in the deck, but we'll see. He's sitting on all removal and he's sitting on Gary. Alright, he must have multiple Garys. I'm gonna journey that, actually. No reason to bolt him. And we have an untapped land. So I could Triplicate Spirits, but I do want to mitigate his devotion. I also want to get in for the attack. I think this is more mana efficient, even though the triplicate would be quite good. We also have to keep in mind he's going to eventually start sweeping. We don't want to just presume he has no sweepers, so I think this is where we want to be. And no. It's highly likely he has a second Gary, so... Oh, okay. Well, I think we definitely bolt that. Do I want to play a second field rather than do anything else? Let's make sure the coast is clear. We could actually Triplicate Spirits, which dies to what? I think I might just play the second field. That gets around Justice, and he has to Crypt Rats for 3 at that point, which he can do. No, he only has... I think I'm going to sack our development just a little bit to get another Lumith Redfield down. I just want to make sure this is going to die and doesn't get Undying Eviled. So... let's attack first. Maybe if he has Disfigure, he'll wait on it. Doesn't seem like he will. I'm just going to play the field again. Just be a little bit more safe. We're a little slower here, but this helps us a bit. Cycling. Okay, bogs me. That's not a problem. He's down to 3 cards. He's not seeing a ton of card draw yet. Just concedes the match. We're up 2-0 in this league. This match, I think, is a lot more even, and it might even be slightly unfavorable. He's already got multiple pingers in his deck. He's got a lot of life gain. Gray Merchant stabilizes very well because our early pressure is not that forceful. It's not that fast. It's attacking with 1/1s basically. So if he gets a couple Garys, it really offsets a lot. And all of our ground guys get blocked by everything in his deck. So I actually don't think this is a great matchup. Just a matter of, can he manage our flyers? It's possible he's sitting on a bunch of lands here and he just felt like conceding. And it's also possible he doesn't have Crypt Rats in his 75 and there's no way to get around these Lumathread fields. He obviously can't interact with enchantments, so if he's only playing Shrivels in his deck or something like that, or spot removal, then I could see why he would concede here. So based on their build, maybe it gets a little better, but I would still imagine this is a slightly unfavorable matchup. And they could make their deck very hateful towards us. However, we did win the day in this instance. So we're in the 2-0 bracket already, and these matches are going by pretty fast, which I like. It's a nice change of pace from some of the slower stuff we've been playing. Alright guys, thank you very much. We will be back. This is round number 3. We are in the 2-0 bracket, and we have once again won the die roll. And we will keep this hand. So let's say yes. So we're having some strong results so far. However, I think the matches have been quite close. A big factor is us winning the die roll in all of those matches to give us a leg up in those game 1s. At the same time, we haven't dropped a game, and we played against 2 very known quantities in this format. So, in terms of assessing the deck as we go, I think there is potentially something here. And there aren't any super strong role player cards at the moment. Rally the Peasants has been the best one so far. And Lumathread Field has played a role in keeping us going. Obviously, Bolt has helped us not only against Burn to race them. We're going to play a 1-drop just in case we draw an untapped land next turn. Not only to help us race them by using spare mana to point at their face, but also against MBC we're able to cut their devotion down a bit. So, I mean, no surprise that Lightning Bolt is a useful card, but just trying to make some assessments here. None of the 1-drops or token producers have stood out as being all that groundbreaking or earth-shattering. Battle Screech is obviously a pretty high impact one. So let's get things going and see what we're up against. Seems like our opponent is maybe a bit sluggish. Hopefully it's not us. Just want to make a brief check here. We can also make sure we're recording, because that would be bad if we weren't. Okay, so it looks like we're off to the races, and this looks like blue-black, and without fail we end up drawing another 1-drop. So this will be a tough matchup, depending on what variant of blue-black this is. If it's just Angler Delver, I think they're going to interact with us a bit less. They will have a huge creature or two to get in the way, but they won't have a huge board presence on average, and they won't have a lot of cheap interaction and sweepers to stop us. So let's find out. It could be, I mean, there's so many flavors of blue-black. Brainstorm kind of points to Angler Delver to me. And this might seem weird, but unless something drastically changes, my plan is to attack him and then raise the alarm on my turn just to get around counter magic, because I'm not really seeing anything he could do that would be super strong against that, and we also just want to get it in so that he can't 1-for-1 it with a counter spell. So he casts Brainstorm. Does he find a land? Yes. We find a land, so everything's kind of working well for us here. I think the Raise the Alarm is better to resolve than the Squadron Hawk, because we just get more bodies, which is going to equal more damage, and it's going to equal a better rally. So I don't see a reason not to cast it now. I think that's going to be our best bet here. We should move the stack over a little bit so that you can actually see what's happening. Just treat this like a Krenko's command or a dragon fodder. We have the flexibility of being instant, but we don't always have to do it. Mortuary Mire. Okay, so this, it's still smelling like Angler Delver here. So I'm gonna attack first, see if he has a removal spell he wants to use. Beating him for a turn is gonna prompt some type of response eventually. We also gotta consider potential turn 4 Evankar's Justice. So I'm not really interested in throwing Squadron Hawk to the Wolves, so I'm gonna cycle and then probably just leave up Raise the Alarm. Now if he tries to respond here, then I'll gladly play either Alarm or Hawk. But probably Hawk just to hedge our bets a little bit against a sweeper. So there's a bolt. I'll just leave up Raise the Alarm and double bolt. No reason to do anything. So this completely wasted his turn. Well, not completely. Now he's brainstorming. I still think I'm... Well, we'll see. Hang on. I may actually just cast Raise the Alarm here. With brainstorms and fetches, I'm really not expecting an Evankar's Justice. So I think this would be the time to do this. And if he has Evankar's Justice, we get wrecked, but I'm really not expecting that, so I'm going to take a chance. Yeah, he's playing Angler Delver, and it looks like we're going to be able to put a hurtin' on this guy. Now, again, he's going to have a big angler, a singular big creature to get in our way. But at this point, we're not expecting life gain, we're not expecting sweepers, so we can just start suiciding our attacks in. Yep, so anglers, I mean, almost a foregone conclusion here. We've got 2 bolts, so that's going to factor into the math a bit. What did he do with Ponder, by the way? He shuffled, yeah, because he's very far behind. He just is. And he's got a Delver too. Alright, so we'll probably kill the Delver because we can. Yeah, we'll go Inspector, Hawk, Bolt. So we could also just let him trade a Delver with the token. I'm okay with that too. I'm not interested in killing the Angler. I think we're just going to get around it. So we'll just attack. If he wants to trade Delver for a token, I'm fine with that. Save the bolt for a rainy day. So we're basically suiciding one of our guys to get in for 5 damage. He is trading. So we're suiciding, not suiciding, suiciding one guy, trading one guy to get in for 4. So I guess in this case we actually just want to play 2 Hawks now. Since we're not bolting. Yes. And again, I'm not expecting any type of sweeper in game 1, so it's time to just amplify this pressure. We're noticing that these clue stones, or these clue tokens, are not getting cycled all that much, but I think in more drawn out games they certainly will. We're just finding that we have a lot to do still. So is he going to deep? No, he's not going to deep. Okay. So we can kill both of those, but we also just have 2 bolts that can kill him, which might just be the best way to go about it. There's a Battle Screech too. That's nasty. I don't think he's going to be able to counter that. Or rather, I don't think he's going to be able to... Okay, so we could just alpha, and then if he blocks, he takes 3. I don't love that. We might Screech first to make sure it's going to resolve. If he gets 2 Delvers... okay, I need to take a minute and think about this. We're ahead on the clock, so we can think. Worst case scenario for us is Echoing Decay, and then both Delvers flip, and he's able to counter our bolts for his Delvers. Our strongest play here is probably to resolve that Battle Screech with the flashback. So I'm guessing we want to do that first main and make sure that's going to work. Yeah, I think that's fine. Also, if he has some kind of wrath or echoing, that's going to kill the battle screech. And if he has a sweeper like a shrivel, it's going to kill basically the whole board. We'll have Hawk, Inspector, and Bolts to back it up. So I think we'll just go for this. I'm not used to them playing counters that don't involve double blue. So we'll try this first. We're in no danger of any type of counter offensive, so we don't even need to worry about that. So we're doing this now because if we just attack with 5 guys, there's a slight chance that he sniffs that out and kills our Inspector during combat before we can use it to tap with the flashback. I know that's very narrow and not likely, but I want to do this now just to make sure. So now he's contemplating what he wants. He must have a removal spell. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to do this now. I think I'm still just going to attack him. Suicide in for the damage. We have the 2 bolts, so... And I don't think Agony Warp really punishes us that much. Okay, goes to 7. He's going to think twice. Okay, AK. Don't have a lot for this matchup either, but we do have Pyroblasts and we do have Journeys to kill this guy off. Which is basically all we would want to board in anyway. So he's going to... He did that before one of them triggered. I don't know if that does anything for you. That doesn't necessarily fix the top of your library. He might have been better off waiting for one to trigger, then if it didn't work, he could AK. I can't see what he's going to have here that could remotely save him. Obviously, Echoing Decay does some work, but if he uses it, then we just burn him. So we're looking good. I mean, we have 5 relevant spells and the cycle and whatever our draw is for the turn. After board, things could change, but we're definitely leaving in Lumithred Field. I don't know that we're leaving in Remotion Rally. Probably just Field. We're cutting Strands, probably cutting Rally. Similar to what we did against MBC, but we're going to bring in Pyroblasts and Journeys. We want to be able to stop turn 1 Delver, and we want to be able to remove Angler so we're not under a fast clock. So he's going to make another Delve guy, and then he's just going to lose. Yep, there's absolutely nothing you can do here. So, I mean, we can kill him any which way. I don't think we need to show him Rally the Peasants. Let's just... It doesn't matter. Let's just attack him. He has no outs. Okay. Only need to show him 1 bolt. Okay, so that's game 1. We were in command pretty much the whole time, so I like that. Now let's get busy here. We want to keep in Field, I think. Probably wanted to keep in the bolts, which doesn't give us a lot of wiggle room here. I don't know how many rallies we want. It's possible Rally needs to be cut a bit. I think we want all of this stuff because he's going to have a lot of removals, so I don't really see a huge reason to cut these. I think we keep the bolts because they also hit Scavenger. So we could do something like this and just play 2 rallies. I wouldn't mind cards like this, but we don't want the game to go super long. Maybe this is just too much interaction. Maybe we don't care about Angler. We can block the angler for 5 years. So, with all the tokens we create. So I don't see a huge reason to incorporate that. This can get around counter spells, so I like that. We're not sacrificing any token production, though we're not adding these extra ones in. But I think that's probably okay. So we're cutting strands, rallies, Remotion rallies. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just for the 3 Pyroblast. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll see if that ends up being worse, but I actually don't think we care that much about Gurmag Angler. We can kind of manipulate. What we do care about is him countering our token makers and sweeping the rest of them. So that's going to be more devastating, and the fact that he can just close the game out with Angler makes it that much worse. But it's not the Angler itself that makes or breaks this matchup, I would imagine. So I would say the longer the game goes, the more he's going to be favored because of things like AK, deep analysis. He's just going to see more of his deck and accumulate more resources, more cards in hand, and he's going to use his mana a lot more efficiently. However, in the early game, I think our board presence is going to be a huge factor, and that's going to increase our mana efficiency by a bunch. So he's going to be able to counter a turn 2 Hawk, but there's a chance his mana works in a way that he's not able to leave up counterspell. We also can wait till turn 3 and then just Pyroblast back. Yeah, so we can just slam it. 8, 7, 6. So we can only pick up 1 unless we want to put a Battle Screech in the yard. The problem with picking up 1 is that he can counter it next turn. But I really don't want to put a Battle Screech in the yard. That seems kind of silly. I think we'll just pick up the 1. We have Pyroblast. If we have to, we can play Hawk with Pyroblast backup. I'll just pick up 1. 1 and done. No reason to put anything in our yard. Okay, 1 Angler down. Agony Warp also down. That's fairly good for us. So if he just passes, sadly going to have to play an untapped land. I'd rather not, but because our mana will be a lot better otherwise. Alright, he might actually make some moves here. So, what else is there to consider? I felt like I was talking about something and then we kind of got interrupted, but yeah, I mean, had I pitched the Battle Screech, I'd have 2 Hawks in my hand. And then next turn I could just play a Hawk and not care if he countered it. Yeah, I guess that's a factor. And plus, because we drew this other Battle Screech, kind of sucks for us. Let's attack, maybe he'll kill it. He might also have echoing for this. So I'm just going to make the Squadron Hawk play, leave up Pyroblast. It does suck that we don't get to Crag and set up Screech, but we have Pyroblast. I still don't think I'm going to put Screech in my yard. I think I want to try and get all the tokens I possibly can. So we're not going to counter Brainstorm. We'll counter a counter and something like Stormbound Geist or Delver. We won't counter any of this stuff. So card draw, card selection. Just not doing it. This deck, I mean, I say this every single time, but this deck plays way too many mental notes, plus ponders, plus brainstorms, plus thought scours. It's just way too much non-action. Those cards do stuff, they do things, but they don't affect the board, they don't interact with the opponent, and that's a problem. So here, I think we're clearly just attacking, getting a Hawk. He's eventually going to sweep all this stuff, but that's just how it goes, guys. And yeah, no chance of us casting Rally there. 7, go back to 8 and play our lands. Okay. Yeah, he's going to kill all this. Not a lot we can do about it. But we will get some, you know, we have a ton of Screeches coming back. and then we have a bunch of rallies. So even though he's going to sweep this board, I don't think we need to cry about it. Oh, he's just going to 1-for-1. So that kind of indicates he doesn't have a sweeper. Though I don't know that we want to go in on a Battle Screech here. We could. Oh, definitely countering a Mole Drifter. Yeah, that's great value for us. Alright, well I guess we'll play one Battle Screech. And we'll see where we go from there. So that means we're not going to attack with one of the Hawks. And we do have 3 of these damn things, so... And we're representing another Pyroblast, though we don't have it. I think from here we're going to sit on some rallies. Not sit on them, but actually start using them. Because basically committing much more to the board is just asking to be swept. And we really don't want to be swept, so... It's also representing 15 damage. Or no, actually it's representing lethal. It's representing 18. Though he is going to counter it, it has flashback, so it's not a huge deal. He's just drawing it. So if he taps out to evoke or do something silly, he's just dead. Okay, this is interesting. So he's probably countering... I mean, he's almost certainly countering the rally. Though if we draw an untapped land, we just flash it back and it's game over. That's pretty sweet. It's a lot of damage, guys. Okay, so... we can just afford to cast it. It's 1/2 of the card. He could also have Echoing Decay, but it's not very likely. Yeah, this is definitely getting countered, and we can leave up Raise the Alarm on the end of his turn. Yeah, just counter it. Yep. Still takes 6 damage. He's at 9. So, I mean, he's going to have to deal with his board. This is coming back, which is a huge problem for him. I don't even know if we raise the alarm. We almost don't have to. But he knows this is coming back, which means, excuse me, only 3 of my guys need to connect. I think he's going to leave up a counter spell. But then raise is... what the hell is this? Lifelink. Okay. I've never heard of this card. Oh, it's very recent. Okay, so you go up to 12. Whoa. Sorry. I don't know why I thought he went up to 12. That was stupid. He goes up to 17. So yeah, we need to start committing to the board. We can't really afford not to. What's he doing? Making another guy. So he's going to counter the rally. Again, if I have an untapped land, I can cast 2. I don't think he'll counter this. He needs to counter the rally. So his hand is Counterspell Mole Drifter. Guess we still go for this, but... because we have the other rally, so we're suiciding one guy. He's taking 7, going to 10. And I don't think we die if he finds another one. 8 plus 3 is only 11. So yeah, we'll just make him counter the rally. And then I'll play a Thraben Inspector, which doesn't die to Shrivels. We know he's going to counter this, but it's okay. Just get the counters out of his hand. We have another rally anyway. He still takes a lot of damage. And I'm not sure that I would block with Thraben Inspector, but... so best draw, I think, is actually untapped land, because then we don't have to worry about counterspell. Okay, so here's Mole Drifter. So he could only have Echoing Decay at this point. We don't know any of his cards. Okay, so Now he's likely not going to have anything. So we have another rally that's just going to finish him. It's my guess. I don't really see a reason to block. Attack with everything in rally. We have 8 bodies times 3. What does blocking do? What can he do for 1 mana? Puts us to 8. I don't really see a reason to block. I think he's just dead here. I can't think of anything he could have. Alright. So he's tapped out. Alright, so I think we can just try and kill. I can't think of anything he could have for free that stops 8 guys, each attacking for 3 damage, so only 4 of them technically need to get through. And it looks like we're heading to the 3-0 bracket. We have yet to drop a single game. So there's something to this whole Rally the Peasants thing. Yep, there we go. That is match number 3, and we're going to keep it moving. Thank you guys very much. Hello everyone, welcome to round number 4. Won the 4th die roll in a row. And I think this is the 4th mulligan in a row. Jeez Louise. Again, I'm going to keep defending this deck, but I don't think this has anything to do with the deck being built weird. This hand also kind of sucks, but we get the scry also, so I think we got to keep it. Opponent kept 7. At least bottom one of these dang lands. Yeah, this hand sucks. Hopefully it gets better. We'll see. Not a good hand for us. We'll see what happens. Blue-red, so could be a number of things. I really hope we don't run into Is It Fiend. That's one thing I've been hoping not to face, because I'm just a little unclear on how we fare there. But you know, with all the Drake style decks, it's more likely to be a blue-red Drake deck, or something close, Tron with Drake, all that kind of crap. So we're actually going to end up paying the echo cost here because we got nothing right now. And we'll just attack. So we have Luma Threadfield. Probably not doing a ton this game. He could be playing something like Twin Bolt in the main deck. So we're going to attack first. Whether we attack or not, or play the field, so he could be condescending for 2 here. So I guess I'll play the land. It also makes him feel like I might have something else to cast. Okay, it resolves. Yeah, I'm just going to leave up these bolts. They're not doing a bunch for me. I'm going to bolt something. Okay. So, highly likely, could be something like Condescend. Now he can only Condescend for 1. I think I might main phase this. If it's Prohibit or Counterspell, we're really mad because he gets to use Perfect Mana next turn. But if it's Condescend, we're very happy because we get to resolve this now. Okay, we're mad. We're not happy. We're mad. Ugh. So disgusting. So he just didn't care about the Luma Threadfield because he doesn't have any type of sweeper. He also could have drawn the counterspell between our turn and the next. He could also have Condescend. And again, our hand sucks and we're never going to be able to catch up to his card draw because we drew too many lands and we started off with too many lands. So Definitely expecting this game to end up in his favor. So should I bolt now? Probably not. We'll see. Might have been a mistake to wait with bolt. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw the bolt. We're never getting past this blocker, so. And I think we're gonna throw the hawk out there too. We got to make something happen. So if he has condescend for 2, we at least get around it here. Jeez. Jeez. How many counters do you have? These decks don't usually play a lot of counters. But this could be a different version. I'm still expecting Peregrine Drake, but 4C. Yeah, that leads me to believe even more strongly that it's Peregrine Drake. Yeah, this is not looking too good. I did beat a Drake deck. It was just blue-red Drake with no Tron. With this tokens deck in Tourney Prac, but this game is just miserable. Mnemonic Wall, so what's that gonna get? Counterspell, I guess. Another 4C. So it's looking like I'm gonna have to attack into this wall and bolt his guy. Oh, we have nothing going on. This is so bad. So this is like the low end of. So we let the damage resolve first before we play the bolt, because otherwise he could just bolt our guy in response. God, this is sad. This is the low end of this quality spectrum of this deck. This is about as bad as it gets. And we're in for a long night here. Might be in our best interest just to concede, but because he is playing Drake, there's a chance he just takes a ton of time off of his own clock to try and win this game, so we're just going to F6 and let him do whatever. Yeah, this game is pretty over. I should probably just concede, but we get more info, we get to drain his time down a bit. So here comes Drake. Yep, see what he can do. Probably combo off in short order. So he should tap some land. Oh, he didn't flicker the Drake. He flickered the Seagate Oracle and the Prism. Okay. And we have nothing going on at all. Just F6ing. Yeah, I mean he is going to finish us off fairly quickly here. He's got all the mana in the world. Sure. Well, that's not doing a ton. But we do at least get to maybe punch through the Seagate Oracle, so I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it twice if he counters one of them. Okay, so that resolved. His guy dies. Pulse of Marasa. Mystical Teachings for Pulse of Marasa. And that'll finish us off because he's going to get back Mnemonic Wall. Mnemonic Wall is going to get back Ghostly Flicker. And if he has any permanent that draws cards, which he does, Prophetic Prism, he just draws his entire deck. He gets infinite mana, then he flickers to draw Prism infinite times. So he can just finish me now. Might as well do it. Okay, so. Oh, he's got Thunder. No, he's comboing. Alright, cool. Pulse the wall. Get the flicker with the wall. Bounce the Drake and the wall. Keep making mana with that loop, because wall keeps getting back the flicker and Drake keeps untapping Tron lands. Then, when he has enough mana, he can just keep drawing. by using Flicker on the wall and the Prophetic Prism. So it's going to take him a while to do this, but it's a lock. It's a surefire win. So it is GG, but we're going to make him do this because basically because our goal is to win this match. So any type of advantage we can get that's within the rules that is not highly unreasonable, we're going to take. He actually has the Thunder in his hand, so it's game right now, so it didn't actually matter that much. But that game was just a trouncing, and that's largely in part to our 8 lands and our very bad mulligan. So let's figure out how we want to board here. Prismatic Strands can stop a Rolling Thunder, but the larger problem at that point is that he has enough mana and enough resources to cast a Rolling Thunder. So I think that's something we actually cut. We could bring in an extra Rally if we think that he's going to be playing Electrickery, and we kind of do. And then bolts might as well be Pyroblasts. They stop more things, and they stop all the things that bolt stops. And then there's other considerations like Triplicate Spirits and Sense Enlistment. But I think we really just need to stay low to the ground with cheap mana aggression. And the plan is to kill him before he gets too much of Tron online, too much of his combo online. So I'm going to submit like this and we'll see how it goes. Again, the Pyroblast just as good as the Bolt, except it can counter a lot of the stuff before it even hits. Alright, this is a solid hand, but we do need something to fight off sweepers. He mulligans to 5 already, so it's even looking better for us. He bottomed whatever card it was, so that's looking good too. So let's just begin. We got turn 2 Squadron Hawk, and then hopefully we find a Lumathread Field or something after that. Drawing a Squadron Hawk we're not fans of. But we're really hoping, I mean, he's looking like he can maybe get Tron rather quickly here, so that could also be a problem if he has a Rolling Thunder. Yeah, he's got turn 3 Tron. We don't like that. I think I may just play Hawk with Pyroblast backup to stop him from casting a Muldrifter or something next turn. It's a little worse against Battle Screech, or sorry, it's a little worse in terms of trying to hit our Battle Screech. So I have to figure out what I want to do. I could just play Hawk and Crag, and then we can Screech. No, I think we're going to make this play. It's the same effect this turn. It's worse for us next turn in terms of mana, but I think what I'm going to try and do is eat the first sweeper with Hawks. Oh, he didn't even get the Tron piece because he doesn't have... Okay, so he's sitting on Electrickery, I think. So that lets us play Raise the Alarm on his end step and leave up Pyroblast. So I guess we're doing that. It's a decent amount of pressure as it stands right now. So make him do something. Doesn't do anything. So he's got Counterspell. Oh, here comes something. Yeah, I think we'll just counter that and play Raise the Alarm. This has been sitting in our hand a ton. Might as well slow him down a bit. Alright, show me a Lumathread Field. Pyroblast. So this is 5 damage. We kind of do want to add to the board a bit. 5 damage drops him to 9. It's a 3-turn clock no matter how we slice it. So I think I'll play 1 Squadron Hawk, and then I'll leave up Pyroblast and the clue token. I think that's how I want to do it, but I won't. I mean, we're already kind of overcommitted, but I won't overcommit. Okay, he found his Tron, but he only has 1 color. 6. He's going for Peregrine Drake. No. I'm not going to let you untap all that mana. But you tapped all your lands, so Alright, so Rally kills him. A lot of stuff straight up kills him. I'm actually going to sack this, because I'm not going to add more to the board, especially with this Raise the Alarm. So this drops him to 3. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he can sweep the board. Maybe he can not die. For a mull to 5, he's doing okay. I mean, that's pretty good. Much better than our mull to 5. I think we mulled to 5. Alright, so this is a research. That's not going to do a ton. We don't need to cast Raise if he doesn't sweep now. So I'm guessing he's not dead because he chose to... He hasn't conceded yet. Alright, so it's looking like Electrickery. He's letting us untap though, which gives us a chance to draw Remotion Rally. Didn't draw it, but this is still fine. What is this? Teachings? Ghostly Flicker. Okay. Okay, he didn't find anything, so we won. Alright, so that was convincing, but he did mulligan. So now he's going to be on the play. I don't really think we saw anything that makes us want to change what we're doing. I think we want it just the same. So it's going to be a toss-up. As you can see, a close match, another close match. Took our first game loss of the league in game 1. So here I would imagine he'd play first. And our hand kind of sucks. Kind of sucks, guys. He mulligans to 6, which gives us technically a free mulligan. I think we have to. We don't do anything for 4 turns, and there's just no way. There's no way we can win. I mean, we cannot assume that we're just gonna draw early action. So I'm gonna mulligan. Man, this hand kind of sucks too, but it does have a Luma Thread field and a Pyroblast, so that's kind of good. And we get to scry, so I'm gonna keep it. And what does he do with his scry? Bottom. I'm gonna bottom a second Pyroblast. I don't really see a reason for that. Alright, so we're both in kind of similar shape. We have double Luma Thread field. Alright, that might do something. Triple Luma Thread field. Okay. Well, our guys are gonna be huge. Let's see if he counters this. Condescend for 1. Nope. Okay, and he's just on his way to destroying our lives. So I could leave up Pyroblast, or I could give him 1 turn. Yeah, no, we're going to do this. We're going to give him 1 turn to do something insane. I mean, we don't know for a fact that he has his Tron piece, so we'll give him 1 turn. Maybe 2, actually, because we're going to end up playing Battle Screech also. 4C. Well, let's see what he does with the 4C. I think I have to play Battle Screech because it's just not in our interest to... It's really not in our interest to... Okay, he's casting bottom, putting 3 of the 4... He's putting all 4 cards on bottom, so we're definitely going to play the Screech now. We're just giving him way too much leeway if we don't create any pressure at all. So I'm going to do this. When we morph this, it becomes a colorless creature, which doesn't allow us to flash this back. So, yeah, here we go. Okay, it's just another Oracle, so that's not too bad. And we get a Pyroblast. Okay, this actually doesn't look too bad for us. Except he got his Tron. But it is kind of slipping. I guess we'll just play the field as a thing. And I think we're racing. That would be my guess. This costs 3, yeah. So all of our guys are X4s, which is okay, but we need more guys. Another Battle Screech would be a good draw. He's just passing, so he might be sitting on Rolling Thunder, which is kind of what it's looking like. And we have another Battle Screech, which I think is okay here because we get to use it twice. Teachings. So I could counter the teachings, or I could counter whatever he gets with it. Let's counter what he gets, which is probably just a counter spell or something. Condescend. Alright, so he has to condescend for 2. And the prayer is that he doesn't have anything else. Alright, well, Battle Screech strikes again. We actually get to Screech everything, and this is way more than his mana can handle in terms of Rolling Thunder, so. Alright, this is a lot of damage. I mean, Rally the Peasants is a kill. So he's just got a bunch of ground pounders. We have 8 flyers in the air, so yeah, Rally the Peasants will kill. I think we can afford to block here. Okay. We don't know what he's getting with that, but we have to assume that Rolling Thunder is something to look at. And now that we have Mog War Marshal, I'm going to cast it, make sure it's going to resolve, then we can decide from there. We have these huge creatures, man. So if he gets Tower, it's 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. He can only go for 12. Alright, so. And this is a fast clock. This is 3 turns. Okay. I mean, he's got a lot of things he could draw into or do next turn that would be devastating, but we just have to roll with it. It looks like he's going for Rolling Thunder. He can Rolling Thunder for 12, which either 12's us or it kills 3 guys. That's not too exciting. Okay. Why would you play your land first? I know that that's probably the best land you could play, but still. Okay, he's going with Drake. Yeah, it looks like he might be comboing here. We're going to F6. There's nothing we can do. Alright, well, got comboed out a couple times. That's just going to happen. Welcome to Pauper, guys. This is what the format is like now, so this is a deck that is going to just get matches against you, particularly in leagues. He's casting Teachings, which means he's probably going to lock this up. Teachings 4 Teachings. Okay. So maybe he is kind of dead. Definitely paying for the Marshal, right? We don't have to. If we have if we draw a Rally, we can cast it twice, which I think we might want to do. So I'm not going to pay the Echo cost. We drew the Rally. So this is our chance to win the game. He's going to Teachings for like a counter. We have to hope he doesn't have Echoing Truth. But that's about it. I mean, that's really our only. If he has Echoing Truth, we're not winning this game. So, like, what are we even doing at that point? We may have just stolen this match. I don't need to cast it again. 7 times 3 is 21. So can he do anything? Looks like he can. Pulse. Moment's Peace. Oh, God. That sucks. That really sucks. Jeez. Jeez. Alright. Well, we kind of got close. Kind of got close to winning this. Yep. He's just getting ready to combo. He's just going to do this now? Okay, so he's just digging for combo. That's Exile Zone. Dismiss. Alright, I'm just going to F6, I guess. So he gets not only his next turn, but he also gets to save time with another turn. And it's just basically a hard counter to the Rally. Ugh. Okay. And it's almost like blatantly clear that he's got Thunder. 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Well, I wasn't really expecting Moment's Peace. We're dead to Thunder anyway. 6, 10, 12. Yeah, so I guess we just attack with everybody. Don't play the Rally. See what he does. Yeah, he's going to cast it. Alright, so we're probably going down this match, but we're still up 3-1, which means there's a chance for us to find some glory in round 5. But I think I've pretty much said everything I need to say about this matchup. Doesn't look that good, though our deck can be explosive enough to beat them. It's just the average game, their average capability is going to be slightly better than our average capability. If he has more copies of Moment's Peace, we're in trouble. Okay, he probably didn't even need that. He's probably just going in for the kill here. No, still doesn't have the Rolling Thunder. So he's a 3-0 deck. He's getting close to a 5-0 here. So guys, probably be on the lookout for his ID. You'll probably see his deck list online. Am I F6ing again? Yeah, just F6ing here. So if he plays Wall, yeah, now he will be able to combo. Alright, he's going to play Wall. And that's going to be game. Draw his whole deck. We'll still just let him combo off and do it. Maybe he somehow screws up, but I wouldn't count on it at all. This is going to be game. And we'll hopefully get a 4-1 out of round 5, but at worst we'll 3-2, and we'll have some reconsidering to be done with this deck. Yeah, he probably looks like, yeah. So he's just looping, getting enough mana, and then he'll start drawing the deck. I'm gonna drink some water. So I guess he needs to untap at least a blue source every turn. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's untapping 2 blue sources. I think that's correct. I mean, you could do 1, but this just makes things faster. The colorless is ultimately useful, but you need the blue to do everything else. He's just hard casting a Mole Drifter, going through as quickly as he can. Only 19 cards left, so he'll be able to draw the whole deck. I mean, in short order is what I'm saying. Yep. So now he's going to start adding additional blue or red. Yeah, it's pretty gross when they go off. I mean, it's something to see. They get all these. I mean, there's no crazier turn than what Drake can do, essentially. Elves gets pretty close. Elves and Drake, I think, have the single most busted turns. Now, there might be some other decks out there that I'm missing, but Elves with Distant Melodies and certain combinations of Priests and Nettle Sentinels and Birchlore Rangers and stuff can pretty much go infinite. And Drake can literally go infinite, as we're seeing here. So it's really something to watch. But we were close. If he didn't have that Moment's Peace, I think we had the win. But when you compare what each deck is doing, we're doing something extremely fair with just a little bit of explosivity, and he's doing something extremely unfair. So it's not really going to compare. So here comes more mana generation, and just looking for that Rolling Thunder at this point. I'm going to drink some more water because I don't know if it's coming through, but my voice is taking a strain here. Well, he's got a 3rd wall. No, he doesn't. He's just bouncing the wall. I would imagine he's playing 2, and then 4 Drakes, 4 Mole Drifters, 4 Oracles. Yeah, all 4 Oracles are on the battlefield. I think the other Mole Drifter's still in his deck. 2 Mystical Teachings. 2 ghostly flickers. He actually has 3. That's my mistake. No, he doesn't. I'm just not paying close enough attention. So what did he do with 4C? Probably just bottomed anything that wasn't Rolling Thunder. Yeah. Okay, he found it. GG's. Hurry up. GG's. Okay, so it's just making the mana. I'm going to thank you guys in advance for watching this, and hopefully we can return to glory with this 5th and final round. I'll have to see what happens. I think he just needs the red source at this point. It's clear we have nothing. Yep, here it goes. Okay, so round 5. Who knows what our opponent will be, but hopefully the Screeching Birds, the Marshaled Goblins, and the Doomed Travelers can get there. We will see you then. Thanks for staying tuned in. It all comes down to this 5th and final round. We are batting 1,000 in terms of winning die rolls, and we're also batting 1,000 in terms of mulligans. I know this sounds insane. I honestly think this has nothing to do with the construction of the deck. As you can see, this is a 0 lander in a 21 land deck. This hand is not the most exciting. We're still going to keep because of the scry. Our opponent kept. We're going to scry the land to the bottom. And see what the opponent's playing. We're in the 3-1 bracket. Hopefully soon to be 4-1 bracket. And we at least get to pressure here. I'm not going to pay the echo cost. This should resolve. We might be facing Delver. Seems like we can beat Delver with just crazy board position. We'll see if that's actually true. Gonna attack first. I'll represent Lightning Bolt, I guess. Wow, that went by super quick. I didn't sprite. I thought maybe he would sprite. Okay. Just gonna F6 here. Looks like this Battle Screech is gonna resolve. Bottom. Looking for his 3rd land. Is he gonna be forced to discard? I think he is. No, he got his land. He's just gonna pass. I think we just throw the Battle Screech at him. We can get it back later. And we need to do something with our mana. I mean, I don't see a huge reason to sit back. So get a counterspell out of his deck, out of his hand. Hopefully do something. Yeah. There's a counter. So yeah, it's almost certainly Delver here. There's Spire Golem. Oh, Seagate Oracle. So I don't know that this is mono blue. It could be mono blue Drake, which might be a little annoying. So if we draw a 1-drop white creature, that would be sick. Blue-red. Looks like blue-red Drake. So not the best. I'm going to bolt this, attack, and play another Battle Screech. I mean, he is getting close to playing Peregrine Drake, but I think we need to just fundamentally continue to pressure. So this is my plan to do so. We are kind of running out of resources, and he's just getting started. I thought he was Delver. Another Drake deck. This might be one of the deck's weaknesses. I'm not sure. Like I said, I beat this exact deck in Tourney Prac, but this ain't Tourney Prac anymore. This is a league. This is where shit gets real. Alright, here comes Drake. Oh, just a mnemonic wall. Alright, that's actually one of the best things we could see. Lumithread Field. Well, we don't get a Battle Screech, so I guess I'll just cast this. Doesn't do a ton for us this game, but sure. So Rally the Peasants is pretty vicious now. Might be enough to kill. So there's that preordain. Bottom. Top. I don't know what that could mean. Means he has Peregrine Drake. Alright, looks like we might be getting comboed here. Turn 6. Pretty nasty. Now, he would technically need another permanent that draws cards in order to go infinite, so it's just a Muldrifter. So I think Rally... Ooh, Prismatic Strands. There's almost no point to attacking, though. Right? We get through 1 damage. So Prismatic Strands is interesting because we can maybe save our butts against Rolling Thunder. So if he tries to go off and Rolling Thunder me, I have 2 answers. Prismatic Strands and Prismatic Strands with Flashback. So if he starts burning guys, I'll use the Prismatic Strands. We need to preserve the integrity of our board, so let's do that. Could be Firebolt, so we will just fire this off. I choose red. So now if he wants to attack, we can kill the Muldrifter and Strands for blue if we want. I don't think we're going to do it, but we could. Okay. Well, we've already cast Strands for red, so I don't think we need to worry about a Rolling Thunder here. What we do need to worry about is the fact that he's just destroying us. Okay, well he can't leave up Counterspell this turn. He's just going to Preordain. Any white creature would just be lovely because we could go insane with our Battle Screeches. In that sense, we have been kind of screwed this game. Okay, so he didn't want to just walk into that Strands. Alright, white creature. Lightning Bolt. Well, that's not the worst either. We could just bolt one of the Drakes now, but I think it's probably in our best interest to wait until he uses a Ghostly Flicker. But then he gets it back, so it's not really doing all that much. We could also save it to bolt him to the face. So there's a lot of things to consider. But really, I don't think we're getting out of this game, but the only way we really are is finding a white creature very quickly, getting these Battle Screeches resolved, and then using Rally the Peasants. And I'm just not seeing that happening, and I'm also not seeing how the bolt factors into that. I guess we save the bolt for his Ghostly Flicker. It's not amazing, but at least it limits his mana a bit. So he's going to bolt one of them. I'm going to have to let that resolve, I think. Okay, he's going... Oh, I thought he was going for the Flicker right away. Not quite, not quite. Now it's a lot harder to get a Battle Screech flashed back because we need exactly Raise the Alarm. She's coming in with everybody. Okay, well he's definitely winning the race here. Yeah, this is bad for us. 4 mana. Alright, so now we can bolt. Oh no, it's a 5-drop. Well, I think maybe we just kill it while he can't do anything. I don't think the bolt's doing much else. So we still have Strands. He's gonna Firebolt, so I'm gonna have to burn my Strands now. Yeah, this game's over. It's been over, but okay, never mind. So he's leaving up Counterspell. No, he's not. There's not a lot that can hurt him here. Squadron Hawk, Raise the Alarm. Let's go. Doom Traveler, not good enough. I think I have to Strands for blue. He's bashing me for 8. Maybe I strands for red. Wow, this is so bad. Our draws have not been great, but I mean, again, his deck and the deck we played before this, they can have bad draws and get out of it because they're playing blue and they're playing really great card draw. I'm just gonna take 8 damage. I don't know that we win not doing that, so well, I'll just strands for red. We don't have much choice anyway. We have to try and get Battle Screech going. Sure. So we can do 10 with Rally the Peasants, but that's not good enough. At least now we get to flash some stuff back. I do get to draw a card as well. Not too exciting. So we have to cast this to try and go to 1, and if he counters it, it's game over. Okay. I guess we're just dead to Firebolt. I'm actually going to just represent Prismatic Strands here. Yeah, this game's over. I'm still going to make him do this just to burn clock. Okay, so we lose game 1. It's going to get kind of hairy here, so I think we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. Basically just this. Again, Pyroblast deals with everything Bolt could. We may even want a third rally. Strands does stop his combo, but again, we want to kind of get him before he can combo. If we're trying to beat him at his absolute best point, the chance of actually beating him is very slim. So we should try and stop him before he even gets to that point. So we're definitely playing first. And this hand's not amazing, but it's got quite a few tools here. It's just a little slow because of the particular lands, but everything else looking fine. He mulligans to 6, keeps 6, and he bottoms. Okay. So let's hope he just floods into oblivion. We do have a Pyroblast here. That's good. He's going to play a Boiler Works. We may want to field first. He's representing Electrickery. I mean, we might as well just do it while we can, and then his Electrickery just never does anything to us. We're not as threatening here, but we get to counter a Seagate Oracle. Okay, so now he's just kind of doing nothing. Yeah, so he should just die. he should be pretty dead here. I'm actually just going to cast Squadron Hawk and raise the alarm right now before he has a chance to do anything. And that should be fairly insane for us. Because we have Rally the Peasants coming. He's going to be dead in the next 2 turns. Yeah, he's dead. Alright, so we just need to do one more of that. Which is basically Lumathread Field. I don't see a reason to change anything whatsoever. So we just need to do one more of that. And I guess this is going to be the thing that we hope gets us there. He kept 7 also. And there's a Lumathread Field. So we could be getting there, guys. Yeah, we'll just play Doom Traveler. And we'll do some thinking later, but this is pretty much all we need to do right now. Okay, so he's just passing. It's not all that likely that he has a counter. He's once again representing Electrickery. I think I'm going to play the field again. And I think that should be a game changer for us. Again, I was not expecting a counter, and now that we have the mana, we can leave up counter for the Squadron Hawk. We could also just try and counter Peregrine Drake, but I don't know, maybe I will. Oh, no, I don't have to. Okay. Well, again, I could put... I'm just going to leave up counter. I could play Doom Traveler, but if he doesn't have a counter, the only way he would keep this hand is kind of digging. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to counter that. Again, I'm not sure why he would play a particular land before drawing his card. Okay, Raise the Alarm's pretty good. But if I don't cast it, I'm going to have to... I think the play is actually Doom Traveler and leave up Raise the Alarm. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It's highly likely he has a counter. Let's just play no, let's play Doom Traveler. More options in terms of maybe we can cast Raise the Alarm. This is pretty obvious that we have Raise the Alarm, so... Okay, we're countering this. Awesome. So that's a good step in the right direction. And I think we're going to cast Raise the Alarm here. And hope for the best. Granted, we haven't been pressuring as intensely as we could be, but hopefully the midpoint between, let's just hope it's a wall. No, it's not a wall. The midpoint between pressuring and disrupting, hopefully it'll be good enough. He just passes. He's gonna burn something. Okay. I don't know that I suicide into this. 5 mana. I think we just play Battle Screech and pray. Because if we attack with 3 guys, it's not that bad. I don't know. Let's see if this is going to resolve first. He has a Firebolt. Yeah, I think I am going to force in 2 damage. I just wanted to make sure the card was going to resolve. We have a bunch of Battle Screeches. So the prayer... Ugh. The prayer is that he just never finds double electricity or combo. If he just drew that, I mean, it's not very likely that he's got much else going on. Okay. Well, I'm just going to play into this. I just want to make sure the first one resolves. Now, Echoing Truth is a hell of a drug, but... I guess we're doing this. We might claw our way through the finish line. This is kind of insane. Okay. Sure. So, a lot of removal. Sure. The reason I didn't leave back an additional guy is because if he has a counterspell for Inspector, he's also got the counterspell for Screech, so... Let's go. He's at 11. He's holding this off very well. He's got a lot of burn. We have a lot of Battle Screeches, though. He's probably sitting on 1 Electricity. Another Lumith Redfield. I think that's not as good as playing the Battle Screech. So I'm going to play the Battle Screech. And I'm going to play it again. And I'm still going to attack and giving him basically one turn-ish to come up with something. The hope is that he just continues to whiff. Yep. Take 3. He just passes. So he's probably sitting on counter magic now. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess we want to Luminthread Field first. It resolves. So it's really hard for him to kill any of my guys. Let's attack him now. He's at 2. So I could sack, but let's just... Maybe it's better to have sacked before combat. Do I get another one? Actually, 1, 2... I think I do. Yeah. Okay. It was probably better to sack to try and find the rally, because this just gives him another turn to do something. But he might just be dead too, and he's dead. So we end up 4-1, guys. We beat a Drake deck. That's the second time I've beaten that specific deck. Got a bunch of cool stuff for our troubles, and this deck performed well. All of the matches were close, and we came out on top 4 out of 5 times. The Tron version seemed pretty tough, and I think NBC is an unfavorable matchup, but everything else felt close, but not overly oppressive or too daunting. So there's definitely something here with this rally tokens list, as you can see. My first time really piloting it for an extensive period of time, and it didn't do poorly at all. A lot of mulligan issues, but the fact that we were on the play also factors in. So there were pros and cons. I mean, I think if we're on the draw, those same matches, the ones that we narrowly won, could end up being narrow losses. So that food for thought. We'd love to hear some of your guys' thoughts on this deck, so feel free to leave a comment. But other than that, I'd like to thank you very much for tuning in to this installment of... That's right, Dime a Dozen.